guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm reacting to another video today, and for something different I am going to be watching Randy Fenoli's Bridal Spring 2020 fashion show. And the fashion show was in Barcelona Bridal Fashion Week. So first time I'm reacting to a Fashion Week video, so let's get right into it. Yep, so there's sheer panels on the side. I've seen that before, so nothing new there. I always love how the lace bleeds in to the skirt, comes down from the top to the bottom. Can you see there that all that heavy beading and the heavy lace adds volume to you? So even, you know, on a slim model like this, she actually looks a little bit heavier than probably what she is normally. And that's because of the fabric. So you've got to be careful. No one wants to feel heavier than they are on their wedding day. The veil is beautiful. I can see a bit of sparkle there as well, so I think there might be a sequin layer or sequins throughout the lace. Yes, you can see that her whole dress is kind of sparkling a little bit, and that's because she's got a sequin layer underneath the top layers. I do a lot of that in my dresses, if you didn't know. Any dress I can put a sequin layer, I put it in. I always ask the question for every bride because I think it just makes it look so much more beautiful. Okay, gorgeous. First thing I would say that I've noticed is that beautiful pale pink champagne color lining underneath. I think that is absolutely stunning. It's a real soft take on a wedding gown, so it's, if you want something that's not so bright white or ivory, then that is a great option without it being nude. The bleeding of the ivory lace coming up is gorgeous. Really love that style, and you can see that they've matched her mesh color up here with her skin tone really well. You can barely see it. Gorgeous wings on the side. I do lots and lots of wings, that detachable or the attachment insert skirt that she puts in the back there. Gorgeous. The back was gorgeous too. Did you see that? Bare back with like the bleeding lace up the top. I do a lot of gowns like that. Gorgeous, simple style. Don't know why the waist looks so loose. And gorgeous pockets. Skirts that flare out like that are really designed to have pockets in them. They're just so easy and free. You can put invisible pockets and you don't even notice. I love that fabric. So that looks like a medium weight satin. It's not the really heavy satin like a Duchess satin that used to be used for a lot of wedding gowns back in the day. Still used for them today for structure, but that looks like it's a medium weight because of how it's sort of falling and moving. It's a little bit lighter. It's not as stiff looking. Wow, look at that back. That is gorgeous. So the back is obviously lace panels with some beaded lace over the top, or some beading over the top. It goes down into the bum area in a V, which used to be done quite a few years ago. Recently it hasn't been as popular. Beautiful. And I do a lot of covered buttons going all the way down to the train. It's been a very popular request over the past couple of years. That beading is gorgeous. Not really into the color of the ivory tulle, particularly on her. I don't think it looks very nice. It looks kind of grey, but apart from that. Oh, okay, interesting. Corset style. Don't know if you can see. I'm trying to stop it in a good spot, but I don't think I can. It's way too big for her here. And I understand sometimes with shows and models on shows that they're never gonna fit perfectly, but I would never send a dress like this down the runway, especially on Bridal Fashion Week. I would be sewing alterations the day before and trying to get that fit perfectly. When I did Milan Fashion Week a couple of years ago, I had a fitting the day before with all the models and with all my gowns, and then I was left 24 hours to make sure that everything fit them perfectly. I would never, I don't know why they didn't alter this. Maybe they didn't have a fitting until the day of. I don't know. But if that's the case, you would know from her measurements and from the spec sheets of the model sheets what size she is. And so you can cater the dress according to the model. Apart from that, apart from the really bad fit along the bust, it's like got the sheer boning and the panels. Yeah, the fit's ill-fitting for me. I also don't like the lace. Yeah, the fit of this model's obviously way too skinny for these gowns because she's not filling in that hip area either, and it's just not, it's looking like she's swimming in it. I do love that style of skirt. The floaty, I don't even know what you call it, handkerchief skirt. This is why it's so important that the fit, wedding dresses are all about the fit, and when they're not fitted, they look horrible. Beautiful, but I don't know what's going on in her bust. I think she's got bra cups on that are like a flesh color and they look terrible. I would have just taken them out for her. I don't know why they've let her look like that. Anyway, the lace is nice. I like the design. I like how it's bleeding down and it's a little bit off center, so it's sort of goes down to one side a little bit more. It's asymmetrical. That's really beautiful and simple, but you know, nothing I haven't seen before. The back is beautiful. I think the back really makes that dress. I don't think the front does. But the back is lovely with that low V. I will say this, the beautiful appliques on that dress are stunning. You can see like little like organza flowers throughout with beading. I do quite a bit of that too. I don't do it as busy as that though, like bigger chunks. I do them tiny because I find that they look way more delicate. Also the lace underneath is quite, messy is not the right word, quite busy, and I would do a less busy lace. Gorgeous. Okay, corset style bodice, very in at the moment, covered in lace, you know, that sheer style corset. She's also got some sheer sleeves, wide straps that are nearly like cap sleeves with just the lace. I do a lot of that as well. That's really beautiful, and it really is dependent on your shoulder width as to how much we're gonna do there. If you are really wide in the shoulder, then I wouldn't suggest that you bring that lace out too far. Push it in a little bit more so that it gives the illusion that your shoulders are quite narrow. Whereas if you've got narrow shoulders, you can push them out to make them look wider. Trick of the trade. It's very romantic, isn't it, this one? I find it's very like, I don't know, old country. I think the back is a little bit busy, in my opinion, for such a, like, the way the front looks. I think the lace is a little bit busy. I would have put less lace on that back panel. See, gorgeous. See the sparkle? That's what you do. I add a sequin layer to achieve that sparkle. My fabric is called Rain. I've got two actually. I've got a few different types of sequin fabrics. I've got a light one which looks like this, and then I've got one that's heavier and one that's heavier still. That really makes that dress. Sometimes you don't even need lace, you don't even need beading, you just need a sparkle layer and the whole thing just comes to life. This one's beautiful. It's quite simple. It uses a very flat lace, so not something that's too chunky. A little bit more of a cotton style lace, so it's really soft on the touch and very thin. Looks like there's an organza layer over the top as well, so it's giving you that floaty, you know, ends to the hem. I really like the layers, the lace layers in the skirt, because you can see that the lace is not just on the top, it's actually underneath as well, which gives gowns dimension when you do that. Can you see there that even when something is really fitted on, when you've got a low back like that, when you move, it will gape because of the nature of humans and the nature of movement. Because the dress is a separate, you know, entity, a separate object, it's going to move. It's not going to stick on you unless you're gluing it on you. It's going to move as well. So that's something to keep in mind. And if you don't like that gaping, don't have a low back. Interesting. The lace is a little bit chunky. It's not the right choice for that model. She needs something lighter, more delicate in lace, intricate little lace pieces. That's what I see on her. That's something that I do a lot, and I don't know why this didn't happen in this show, but basically what I try and do whenever I do a fashion show is that I make sure I match the style of the gown to the model that's going to be wearing it. I don't just put anything on anyone, and sometimes I'm switching and changing. Sometimes it takes me like 3 fittings or more to swap and change dresses around so that I'm picking the right dress for that model. Because when you get that right, the dress looks 10 times better. It actually looks like, you know, she was made for that dress. Whereas this one, she's just wearing a dress and she's not wearing it very well. You know, it's ill-fitting, it doesn't suit her. The lace is too dense, it's too heavy for her look or her features on her face. And she's very tiny in the frame, you know. I will say that I do love the fabric in the skirt. I think it falls beautifully. I don't think that's the right style for her, unfortunately. You need a stronger features and stronger face to wear that style dress. I love the back. Absolutely love the back. That racer back style is very cool. I love that. Wow, very interesting neckline. That wide scoop and then the really sharp V. Very, very interesting. Quite Elizabethan, I think. Okay, Okay, do you see in the hip and the thigh area how when she walks it kind of crunches a little bit? And that's because the fabric is not stretch and it's a very stiff satin. The traditional satin that was used a while ago, 20 years ago, for making wedding dresses. So that's why that's happening on her. It also probably is a little bit big, but you can't make that fabric too tight because it's just going to end up pulling and looking crunchy like that. So you have to pick a different fabric. That's beautiful. And that suits her. So that neckline is gorgeous, the way it goes down. You might see there's a little bit of a shadow in between her bust there, and that is the mesh insert that is being put there. I'm guessing it's ivory because she's quite fair. So it could be like an ivory. Sometimes we do it in a tan, but if you do it in a tan and the girl's not tan, it looks really, really bad. So a safe bet is always to use ivory until you can color match. Gorgeous. Again, there's sparkle in that skirt. Okay, I love this corset area. Down the bottom, it sort of goes into a V, which will be very, very flattering, particularly on someone who's an hourglass. But even if you're a column, it would give you that shape. Again, with these straps, I would be very cautious about making them too wide up the top unless you have narrow shoulders. Oh, I love that pale nude color. Beautiful sparkle again. If you look at my last collection, I did a lot of sparkle like this in my last collection last year. Very old school romantic. Looks like there's like a nude lining underneath that top. I actually really like that. I think it's beautiful. I would like to see that not on a ball gown. Maybe on like a slim sheath or something. I think that would be gorgeous. Oh, okay. You can see the sequin is a lot heavier in that skirt on this dress. Just need to confirm that it is sequins. It looks like it's way sparklier than the others. It's like one of my heavy sequin fabrics. So I've got a couple of different levels. And the heaviest one looks like the dress is wet. That's how many sequins there are. And that's what that looks like. Yeah, can you see there that the dress looks wet, like water's running on it? Love how simple this one is. Classic simple, looks like it's a matte fabric as well, which is extremely popular. And it just falls so beautifully. I'm hoping for a wow back here, guys. Interesting. I don't know if I like that back very much because I know it'd be very, very problematic. Like it's verging on ass crack land, you know, a little bit too low, and there'll be lots of fit issues by having a dress like that. Having that back open, the small of your back there, I think that's issues waiting to happen. That's beautiful. I love the little cape. Really, really cute style. That cape style really works on that gown because the back is so open. Even though it's covered in this buttons all the way up and it's mesh, it's sheer, you know, and there's not heaps of lace going on. There isn't heaps of detail. So having that sheer cape over the top is really lovely. Again, I love that nude color. I don't know about that trim. It looks a little bit baby doll, but I love the nude color underneath. Gorgeous, really simple. Looks a little bit like a nightie though. Oh, again with the weird back. Don't know how I feel about it. I love from the bum down. You can sort of see there it really hugs her bum nicely. It falls beautifully. But the top two straps look like they can sort of move a little bit and show a little bit of gaping. It's like a really pale latte color, isn't it? It's just beautiful. That's a beautiful silhouette. I like the halter kind of style, the V. Very different with a bigger skirt. Oh, that lace is gorgeous. There's like a cross. The sequin layer is sort of like a cross hatchet type of style. Beautiful design. Fabric is everything in that. So I've seen that cross hatchet sequin layer quite a lot, but they've also layered it with some lace. Gorgeous. They've used the similar lace on the sleeves and in the body. I love this dress. I think it's one of the best ones in this whole collection. It's modern. It's really in keeping with the styles that are happening at the moment, but it's a little bit different. You know, it's not exactly like the styles that were happening a couple of years ago or 12 months ago. It is a bit innovative and it looks really classic and really elegant and really simple. But I think that sequin layer really gives it a wow. Beautiful, beautiful. Love that one. Wow, back is stunning. It's a very Art Deco. That's what I love about it, I think. I think on that dress it would have been beautiful to have balloon sleeves that flared out and then cuffed, because the whole dress is so slim. It would have added a little bit more drama. Wow, that's a really interesting lace. It's like leaves going everywhere. Again, I love that light latte pink champagne color underneath. Beautiful sequin layer. I think that lace is extremely, extremely busy, and I would not have chosen that lace for that style. I would have maybe just done the bodice, or I would have sort of bled it down into the skirt. I wouldn't have just went bang, put it everywhere. I think that's a little bit much. I've done a very similar style to that, but with a different lace in a couple of collections ago, I think. I do love those sleeves. I've done sleeves like that in my collection 2 years ago. Again with the sequins, beautiful. Again, that beautiful pale pink champagne color underneath is gorgeous. This one's a little bit full on with the lace. There's a lot of swirls going on, but I do like it, and I like how it kind of bleeds up a little bit. I mean, I'm not seeing anything new here, guys. This is all kind of stuff that's been going on for a couple of years now, but just different laces. Do love the sequin layer. She's a beautiful figure for that type of dress. It makes you very hourglass. Absolutely love that back, that low back. You can see there that they've used like a tanned colored mesh on her back area, and it sort of doesn't match her skin. It looks a bit dirty. And normally if you're going to put a gown like that, I've got a light nude color that I use, or I would use an ivory. I think that, I mean, they didn't design this dress for this model, you know, they've just designed it beforehand. But yeah, I would have maybe put that dress on someone else with different coloring because of that mesh panel. That's a little bit different because the lace is quite unusual and there's that trim. It's not great looking at it front on. The Sweetheart neckline's very round. I would have shaved that off a little bit, not make it as round as that. I think it looks a bit weird. But it's beautiful, nice and long. The length is great. Very different type of a lace. You see the back, guys? When it's low like that, it's all gapey. It wiggles because she's moving and walking. And unless you've got a higher back, you'll always get that gaping. And that's just on her waist. So imagine if you wanted a dress that was lower than the waist, you've got no hope in it fitting properly. This is very interesting. I think they're sleeves. Very interesting. I really like that lace with the big flowers on it. That's cute. A little bit covering for me. I think when you've got big balloon sleeves like that, you sort of can't, if the dress is full, like down the bottom, if it's not a slim gown, then you kind of need to go a bit lighter on with the lace, or else it's too heavy. But it's still beautiful, you know, no complaints here. I love that neckline. It's a really strong, confident neckline, I think. Again, you see the thigh area when you're walking. If it's made of satin, like a Duchess satin, like a strong satin, it's going to be crunchy. Okay, it's going to crunch. Watch it crunch. And if you make it too tight, it pulls. So it's very, very difficult to get that to be smooth and perfect unless it's stretch. That one's got a slightly coloured skirt petticoat, which is quite lovely. A bit different though. It kind of mismatches a little bit from a distance. Interesting corset thing going on in the back. I wouldn't have picked it for that dress. Love this dress. Super simple, beaded design down the center there. Gorgeous. Love a center split. You can tell there, guys, that the lace is a really, sorry, not the lace, the fabric is a really lightweight fabric because of the way it sort of moves and flutters when she walks. Interesting back. That's actually very Art Deco, I think. Beautiful. I do like it. I don't like how ill-fitting it is, but, you know, I can't complain about that too much. beading in this one. Nothing unusual though, nothing too different. See, this is when you put too much beading on top of satin, it kind of creates its own like heavy fabric, so that when it's trying to float down the bottom and give you this beautiful fall, it can't do that because it's got all this other stuff on it. Sort of like embroidery. It might be embroidered actually. Embroidery does that to satin. Imagine if you had an embroidered satin gown and you were walking. It doesn't really float or fall correctly because it's got so much other stuff going on. Very unusual lower back area, which could be really problematic for some brides because it's sort of verging on their crack area and they really don't want to show that. I made a gown once like that for a bride that wanted it, and she had a quite a high bum and it was sort of poking through, and I had to pretty much recut the whole thing because, you know, she didn't want that part to show, but yet she wanted that design. So it can be really problematic. Interesting lace kind of going in. Nice design element. Oh wow. You see the difference? This one has the straps slightly wider and it looks beautifully in proportion. I love the crossover. It's a really kind of traditional way of doing a bodice. Absolutely beautiful, using that new fabric and giving you this voluminous large skirt. That fabric is beautiful in that application. Gorgeous. See how tiny it makes her waist look because of the fullness. Absolutely gorgeous. Great also with pockets, a gown like that. Wow, really interesting crossover design in the back. I've never seen something like that with a bit of lace detail in between. That would actually give you a lot of security in that bust by doing a crossover back like that. I have saved a few dresses looking gapey and looking horrible and fixing the fit by just doing a crossover back. Gorgeous. This one's the best one yet. No, it's not really innovative with the silhouette, but the lace is interesting. The sweetheart with the low V is really nice. Again, the sparkly skirt, stunning. And I love how the lace kind of bleeds down and it's not full of lace. You know, there's nice balance. Gorgeous. Love it. That is a real princess gown. I think she nearly fell. Jesus. Oh, I love me a bit of colour. Oh. Why did they use those darker and the hot pink petals? Why did they do that? Why? I don't know about the hot pink, but everything else, beautiful. I love that design, the wide scoop with the V, absolutely gorgeous. See, that pink tulle is like a hot pink tulle, and when it overlaps, like the hot pink comes out. I think you got to be really careful with pink colors, because when you verge on hot pink, it can look tacky, and you don't want it to look tacky. You know what I mean? Yeah, the hot pink petals have to go. They are not a good choice. But the application is beautiful. The little appliques everywhere is beautiful. I love that kind of delicateness. And I have done a gown like that in ivory before, and I've put like organza flowers all over it. But you got to be careful with color. Such a shame, because I don't even think that's a red carpet gown, because it looks too tacky to be a red carpet gown. Okay, I know what they were going for here. They were going for like dropped pink flower petals. Looks like someone scattered pink flower petals all over the floor. Absolutely gorgeous. Love the concept. I think there was too much hot pink. Well, that is it. Oh my god, that was a really long show. I did love it. I love seeing what other bridal designers are doing in the world of bridal. There was really nothing innovative or new that I saw there, guys. All the fabrics I have seen before, all the necklines I've seen before. You know, it takes sort of a lot to spark my interest in that way, but you know, all in all, I did love that show. Which gowns did you like, guys? There were probably maybe 2 or 3 gowns that I absolutely loved. I did like that Fenoli dress, being the pink petal, flower petal dress, but like I said, I think the hot pink was a little bit too much and sort of moved it away from being classy and elegant to being a little bit tacky. But apart from that, I think, you know, it was a beautiful collection. Let me know which gowns were your favorite, and I would love it if you gave me a like for this video if you liked it, and that helps the algorithm. And I'd love it if you were part of my community as well, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I do videos every single week on wedding dresses, fashion, and a lot more. So I hope to see you next time in my next video. Catch you later, guys. Bye for now.